Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I will be talking about the 5 things scouts look in a soccer player. So make sure you guys stay out through the whole video so you guys know what can help you and what can make you stand out from the rest of the players. That way you get picked up. Number 1, technical ability. Technical ability is important in the sense of receiving the ball, obviously controlling the ball, but also passing and shooting. And so scouts look at this. Scouts look at the fact that you take every touch serious, and that will make you different, and if you're concentrated, whether if it's 11v11 or, sighted games, you have to be concentrated on what's next. How do you shoot the ball? How do you receive the ball? How do you pass the ball? And how you can perform all those 3 things under pressure. With that being said, my number 1 tip with this is, make sure your passes are crisp, make sure that you receive the ball and you're ready, for your next move. And make sure that you also make yourself feel like you're there. You're very talkative, you understand the game, but also know that, you receive the ball, what's next with controlling and passing. So that's my number 1 tip for technical ability. Number 2, tactical awareness. Tactical awareness is sometimes more important than just, with the ball. You have to know how to position yourself on the field. You also have to see how to make runs if you're a forward, or how to position yourself to be able to defend a striker. Scouts love those who have higher IQ, those who think a step ahead of what they do. If it's, receiving the ball, you already know what you're gonna do next, right? And so that's something very important that you have to understand how to position yourself in whatever position you play. So a tip that I would really recommend for you guys is understand what position you're playing. What I mean with that is, if I'm a left winger, I have to understand what left wingers do. So that way you don't have to worry about what the left back does. Yeah, you might have that communication with your left back, but understand that you have to really know your role on the field. When I talk about, tactical awareness, and I mentioned, about communicating with your left back and whatnot. If you're a left forward, or if you're a center back, you communicate with your back line, whatever it is, make sure that you also use communication. That is key for tactical awareness as well, just because you have to know your surroundings. Aside of you understanding what your position is, you also have to be able to communicate the best way with the people that surround you in your position. Number 3, physical fitness. With this one, this is important, guys, because sometimes the physical aspect of the soccer game is super important. This plays a big role. Sometimes scouts look at that, whoever's fit and who can last longer, or get to the end of the line and then also come back and defend. So a player that can also do both things, not just attack but also defend. You have to be different, you have to win your duels. Sometimes, you're gonna find fitter players than you, but you also have to prepare yourself physically so you can compete. If you guys are going to tryouts, whatever it is, make sure that you guys are your 100%, don't go at 50%, 80%. Make sure you guys are at 100%. Make sure you guys do sprints, you guys are ready physically. That way you guys can compete and finish the tryouts the way you want it to. You want to feel like you've left everything in the tryout. That maybe, if you don't make it, you know yourself that you gave it your all and you'll be able to give yourself another shot. Number 4, mental toughness. I've mentioned mental aspect in previous videos that you guys can look at. This is also, how do you play under pressure? How do you make mistakes and then just move on? At the end of the day, scouts, coaches, they love to see good attitude and the way you change things in the game. You can make millions of mistakes, but coaches love those who have an attitude that are willing to try again and again, and so that's something important for me that I would say that has helped me throughout my career in the past. When I was a younger player, I wasn't the most gifted player, but I think that something that I did have was my attitude. I was willing to take that extra step or take that opportunity to be able to say, okay, well, I messed up once, I'm willing to make the same mistake again. So make sure you guys have that mentality and that you guys are strong mentally. That way, this will help you and be able to become a stronger player overall. It's up here, you can be, a gifted player, but if you're not well mentally, this will throw you off. Make sure that you guys have a great attitude, during the training session or tryout. Make sure that You know, if you make a few bad passes, make sure that you have that attitude to get back up and be able to make more mistakes, but understanding that it's a process until you get it right. Keep trying, keep doing your thing, and most important of all these tryouts, guys, enjoy the tryouts. You know, make sure you're different, make sure you try things differently each tryout. Before you guys get to the number 5, make sure you guys are subscribed. That way you guys have the latest tips from a professional soccer player. Number 5, coachability. And this one might be the most important one, and I'll tell you why. You know, scouts, they love players that can take feedback and that are willing to learn and that are willing to take everything in, from the negative things that a player does, but also, you know, even as a professional soccer player, sometimes we don't like it when, you know, they see our mistakes, right? And so with that being said, you know, something that I've learned from the past, I just love being coachable, because at the end of the day, they see what we don't see, you know, from the outside. They see everything so easy from the outside, so they're giving you tips from when you're in the field. You just have to understand that they see the field from the outside, and it makes it a lot easier for you to understand when you're gonna make your progress in soccer. And even if you're a talented soccer player and you're not coachable, you're gonna have a hard time, you know, making it far. And so with that being said, with a story that has happened to me, you know, I was 14, 15 years old when I left to the Real Salt Lake Academy, and I was a young soccer player that I wasn't as skilled as the players that were already at the academy, right? And so the only thing that helped me as a soccer player and to get there was being able to be coachable, learning every day, you know, was taking feedback from the negative things that I've done. So that was something huge in my part of growing as a soccer player. During training and coaches, make sure that you guys listen to your coaches, you know, and that they see that you're asking questions and that you're taking everything in. And maybe that will be the difference of you making it over someone else. Maybe you're the reason why they like you so much, because you're different and you're willing to take every bit of information from the coach. And sometimes I hate breaking it to those who are very talented. Sometimes a player who is not as gifted but is willing to learn makes it over a player that's talented and that is not willing to learn. So there you have it, my 5 things as a professional footballer. All of this is a package. Make sure that you take all these things that I have mentioned into consideration in your journey of becoming a college soccer player or a professional soccer player.